Well, let me tell you something, brother. Welcome to the Real Weird Sickos podcast. I am Charles Kahn, the masked bastard, the most electrifying man in online entertainment, bringing you memes and dreams, everything, all of it, live. Weirdsville, Sicko Town, USA. With me is the always lovely Dojins, Jenna, Dojangles.
That was like the quietest intro, and it kind of scared me for a little bit. Like, I'm not
You want
gonna
me to
lie.
go louder? I can go louder.
No, I'm good. That's good. I got the
I
point.
love going loud. You know me, I'm a loud talker. I'm not some jabroni.
But you know who is a jabroni?
Who is a jabroni?
That is
I don't
me.
know
I'm
if-
Jabroney. What's up, y'all?
Returning guest, Jabroni.
What's going on? How are y'all?
Great.
Awesome.
We've had there's been a lot. There's been a lot going on the last couple of days on the internet, and I'm really
my
excited
gosh.
to talk about this
We've
stuff.
become famous. We've got we defeated Wizards of the Coast. What else
Right.
did we do? Like officially, once you have 50,000 followers on something, then you're famous, right?
That is
Is that how
true.
that
Yeah,
works?
you get
Do you
your.
have 50K on Twitter now?
50K on
Well,
Ooh,
congrats.
that's awesome.
I didn't know
felt like
that.
Mr. Popularity.
Yes. Well,
I
good
mean,
for you.
realistically, like we have way more than that because of all the crap that we're spread out onto. But the main account, the one everybody can look at and go, "Oh yes, popular guy, famous guy." It feels that way, even though it's like, well, I just want to post the same goofy stuff I always do.
That's when you get
Only a
invited to
matter-
like the Illuminati, right?
Sorry.
They send you some kind of invite.
Oh, it'd be
Secret
fun
society.
to go to the Illuminati parties. Yeah, I would love to go to what's the Owl Grove? Oh, man.
Yeah. I watched a video about that recently.
Yeah.
Alex Jones, like full
yes.
on.
Yep.
God, I can't think of what it was called. It was something Grove.
It's
Ooh.
Bohemian
I used
Grove.
to know Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
heard
creepy.
Norman
All
Lear.
this- that's
Norman
like
Lear
the
talked
camp.
about what went on there and on his podcast. It was all men, and he got
It's like
invited
summer camp for famous and powerful people.
yes, because All in the Family was like the #1 show, and he had all the money in the world at the time, and so he kind of got invited. And he was like, "Yeah, it was just like fun. We was hanging out, like everybody was super chill and cool." And then, there's the Alex Jones version where it's like, we've invaded, we've got the photographs, we got the documents. I'm here live with Jabroni.
I heard
what do
they
you see,
did that on
Jabroni?
purpose. Where
That's
they,
a great
where they
impression.
I heard they found they knew he was going to do that, and it was like
Mhm.
on purpose,
Mhm.
just so they could pretend like it's not that big of a deal that he did that.
Yeah.
That's what I heard anyway. I mean, everything's a conspiracy at this
I
point.
heard the same thing about Scientology. They had this gal just wander in there with her boyfriend, just to see if they were clear.
God, they're so annoying. That
They
couple
start calling you like, oh, hey, just calling just to see, are you still thinking about Scientology?
Nobody's called, by the way. Only because they didn't get like my real phone number, so
Aw,
or
That's
address.
smart.
Or
you were one of those
anything,
hot
so-
chicks who would give the pizza place phone number to guys?
No.
God. I was just talking about this gal that used to be in our entourage before the podcast, and she would do all the crazy shit like that. Where she would
There's
have dudes
only a
approach
matter
her,
of time
give them the
before
Pizza
there's
Hut number.
Bohemian Grove deep fakes.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
all
that
my
would be
audio,
cool.
all my impressions, but Jabroni. I might as well not even do them anymore. I should just hang it up. I should.
Deep fake gate is out of
I
the gate.
literally
and I'm
heard
excited. I'm
Somebody
so
posted
excited.
video of the really stuck up like snooty gal from Harry Potter. The one with the little like upturned nose. You know her. She's very like
Hermione?
what I don't know. I didn't watch Harry Potter. It was too old.
I'm sorry, I didn't either.
I just know
I know,
she's from
it's
Harry
bad.
Potter and she's very stuck up. I heard her reading the Hitler book and
Mein
thought
Kampf.
I saw that and just went, "Oh my god!" Like
It's really nice that
like
we're
it
saying
takes a
that
lot
book
to shock
title in the
Charles.
first 3 minutes of this episode.
Woo!
Jesus
Charles
Christ.
was shocked. Because it's like her reading it just pitch perfect, and it's like, ooh, this is like we've already gone. There was already something that could do the voice synthesizer thing. Like it might have been 3-4 years ago. There was a Jordan Peterson thing, and everybody had a lot of fun with that. Where like
Yeah, I
it
remember
was some
that.
black guy and Rusty were really like crushing that week. Because they did
Well,
like
there's
slob
voice-
on my
there's-
knob with the Jordan Peterson thing. It was very fun.
Yeah,
That was a great one.
There's a
There's
fun-
knob,
voice.
like corn on a cob.
there's a Ben Shapiro
Chicken
one
with
too. Where
me. And do your job.
What's the Ben Shapiro one?
Which one
They
are you
made him
talking
sing
about?
some song. I can't remember, but it was so
Was
funny.
it the wet ass pussy?
Yes. Oh my
See,
god, that's
he
so
actually
funny.
read the lyrics because he was singing
Oh,
this wet
He
ass
said
P
wet
word.
a p word.
Yeah,
that's
He
right.
didn't say ass. He said
didn't
wet
say
a
ass?
p word. No, I don't think he said ass. If I remember correctly, he
there's
wouldn't
some
say
whores
ass.
in this house. There's some whores in this house. Oh yeah, there's some whores in this house. They took his face and put him on the black chicks, whoever they were. You know them. All the women in the video. They got big butts.
Oh God.
God, what's their names? Cardi B and the other one. This is what happens when I don't take a nap before the podcast.
I know, because you're tired. Kylie Jenner was
Yes.
in that video too. She's
Kylie
not black.
Jenner. Well, apparently Ben Shapiro was.
Yeah, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and Ben Shapiro.
Oh Jesus Christ!
But like Ben Shapiro sticking his tongue out.
But there's a new shockwave of
Pull
deepfake,
that
and
before
that's
it really came.
So let me give you this scenario. You have your work computer, which is your streaming computer, and you decide to go down a rabbit hole of AI one day, and you come across a porn site, and you pay for looking at porn of AI of streamers that you know.
What you do?
Your chat catches one frame of you clicking through your menu, like one fucking frame, and they find out what it is. And now all of a sudden you're streaming, crying, with your wife crying in the background, and everybody knows your shame. That's what's going on this week.
It'd be a real weird sicko who would do something like that.
That would never happen.
To look at adult films of
What's
a woman's
his name again?
face.
Atrioc, yeah.
Yeah. He beat off to porn of deepfake porn to his best friend's girlfriend. That's amazing. That's
Good
awesome.
Lord. So I had no idea who that Jabroney was. I just thought he was some
Which jabroni? We have a jabroni right here.
Well, I meant who this bozo. I'll do a bozo. He's a bozo. I had no idea who this bozo was because like there's so many streamers and characters online, it's hard to keep up. Like I would love to tune in for everything our friends are up to. Like Billy, our friend that does the Drunken Peasants. He's doing like 4-hour shows, and they do like multiple shows a week. I can't keep up.
He's always so busy. I
can't keep up. Love him dearly. I would love to listen to everything and laugh. It's like, man, I can't keep up. Like I want to keep up. It's tough. It's so tough to keep up. And then the algorithm pushes stuff down. Like, even somebody doing like little quick hit stuff that everybody can watch, like Ricky. It's like, man, I can't, like the algorithm's not even putting it in front of me. Like I'll see a clip that I've never seen before of him. It's like, oh man, this is so good. I'm like, well, this is from 6 months ago.
Do you think there's a algorithm for deepfake porn? Like, do you think it suggests, hey, you might know this person in real life?
I think that there is now.
Yeah. We saw
if there
that
wasn't
you
before,
do a podcast with somebody.
After the last couple of days, there definitely is a market for it now. And let me just say, they think, first of all, with this whole situation, I really don't believe for a second that this needed to be as far as like him coming out apologizing the way he did with his wife crying. I don't think this. There could have been a different way to go about it because he did kind of get caught.
Looked like a bitch.
And
he looked like a bitch.
Yeah, but like not like this, fam. And not only that, I think we are now actually calling more attention to these deep fake sites more than anything. I bet you they've had more hits in the last couple of days than they've ever had. Guaranteed.
Yeah, for sure.
We've just completely put the blowhorn right up to it. Like everybody knows where to fucking find it now. And that's the unfortunate part. But the fact that it is people that he knows and the way that he went down the rabbit hole, I think like Destiny probably tweeted the best about it. He had the best meme. Out of all the memes about it, he
saying, "Oh man, like, how dare you tell us all about this awful thing and where to find it?"
No. He posted a clip and said, "Atrioc sounds so young here, confessing," and it's that old clip of there was a virus and he got up and my pants fell down. That old clip, So he won the meme war on that one for sure, for sure. That was funny. But I mean,
I'm fascinated by the AI movement, machine learning and all this stuff. I've been messing with The Chat
so is
GPT.
Atrioc, because that's how he got down that rabbit hole in the first place.
Chat GPT is so cool. You can just say, write me 30 jokes about Silent Hill, eating pizza in Silent Hill, and it just craps out 30 of the worst dad jokes about eating pizza in Silent Hill, and I love it. I have been laughing hysterically to myself. I've been showing them off to my Discord and all my friends. Like, hey, look at this. We got new rules for the Discord. Let me read you some of these rules. I think it was don't use the apple. You can't say apple without, here it is. No talking about pineapple on pizza. No using the word apple without proper context. Only use emoji when necessary. No discussing time travel. Only listen to music made before 2005 on the xylophone. It's really goofy stuff. But that's very funny.
I don't know. Like I said, going back to the whole Atrioc, I think, it's a little weird to, look at fake porn of people that you know, in a way.
Is it weird to look at real porn? If you subscribe to your friends' OnlyFans,
no, it's not. I
and
don't
you look
think
at their
it's
nipples and go,
putting,
honey, the milk's gone bad.
Because they're putting it out there.
Yeah.
AI,
right?
You're not putting it out there. Somebody else is doing it.
Yeah, that's something that.
What if they prompt you and we're like, all right, I need a royalty porn critic.
Yeah.
No, that's something I hadn't considered. I was watching a lot of the videos about this yesterday, and I had never even thought about that, but I was watching QT Cinderella's stream that she did really quick, and her saying this was not consensual. I was like, oh, that's crazy. That never even clicked with me. Somebody could make this stuff and it looks pretty real, and you never even said that, I'm okay with this. That's crazy.
Yeah. And somebody can easily misconstrue that as actually, that could be damaging to your reputation, depending on what what you put out there. Some people choose not to do that. I mean, think of it this way. If somebody does a deep fake of you saying something racist or something that you wouldn't say, I think everybody would be upset. So I think the same context applies to this. That's not something that I would do on camera, and it's out there, and I didn't want this, and that could be damaging to somebody's career. Somebody has kids down the line, their kids fucking Google that comes up, and then you have to explain to your kid that's not really me, that's a deep fake, or your family or whatever. You did not sign off on this. You did not want to do this, but somebody did it for you. In that regard, QT, I would be upset about that. I would be deeply upset about that.
I'm going to say maybe 10 years ago, because I think it was a PlayStation 3 game. She was Elliot Page at the time. He's Elliot. What are they? Elliot Page now.
Yeah.
They had modeled for a video game, and there was one scene where the character takes a shower. Hackers were able to figure out how to get around and do the thing where they walk through the wall. And there's everything them nude, and they were not happy about that.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
That's crazy.
And it looks, this is PlayStation 3 graphics, so it's not the Max Payne face. That constipated pain face of Max Payne that never changed.
2D.
PlayStation 3, that looks really like what Elliot Page, what them used to look like. I don't know. I want to be nice.
Yeah.
That's weird that the devs would leave that in,
story.
right?
Yeah. That was part of it too.
That
was part of it too.
Is.
Were they just too lazy to clean it up?
I think they were French and perverted.
They're like, we're going to leave this in for hackers.
Yeah. That's my opinion. I don't know. I never talked to those dudes, but there was a bunch of controversies about them being weird. So
that kind of reminds me of, I just recently watched a really good video by Doplex. Have you guys heard of the hot coffee thing with San Andreas?
Yep.
It's kind of similar.
I saw that video. I'm a big Doplex fan.
Doplex.
He's actually one of my first, just a little background. He's actually one of my very first friends on YouTube.
Aww.
Love
that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, he's great.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, go on.
He's such a funny, creative guy. I don't know how Doplex isn't the most popular guy in the world. You look at somebody like Mr. Beast.
I've been saying that for 4 years.
You look at somebody like Mr. Beast and you go, okay, yeah, I get it. But you look at somebody like Doplex and it's like, well, why isn't he the most popular guy in the fucking world? Where's Doplex's popularity at? Why is he not, this super millionaire.
He gets suffocated in the algorithm.
Yeah. So that happens to some
Susan
guys.
hates him for some fuck all reason. Like he just gets hated on by Susan. It's really sad. It's really sad because he makes probably some of the best edited, and most creative, funny content.
There's so much going on the platform in a Doplex video about hot coffee where it's not just him standing there talking in his room surrounded by a bunch of Garfield plushies and Squashmallows. Hi guys, let me tell you all about this Nickelodeon cartoon. He's not one of those guys.
I watched that too.
Badly.
There was a gal I follow. She posted a Squashmallow of Mothra, and I felt very jealous of that Squashmallow. It was Mothra. Anyway, the you were saying about the Doplex video about the hot coffee.
Yeah. Just what you were saying about the whole Elliot Page thing reminded me of that, where I guess the guy in charge of the studio said, yeah, we're going to have like just straight up sex scenes in our video game. And then the ESRB was like, okay, well, it's going to have to be AO. And so they were like, we got to cover this up. So they tried to take it out of the game. They didn't really fully take it out of the game and then got cracked. Yeah, that's kind of a disaster.
Was that it was in the game. It was like a sex mod, like a sex, you get invited in for hot coffee. And you have to build like a meter to have sex with a woman. You know, it makes sense for a mature rated game or an adult rated game, but Walmart won't stock an adult rated game, but they will an M rated game, which will allow murder and sexual situations, but not on screen depictions of graphic sexuality, which is, you know, not that far off from the strip club scenes in later Grand Theft Auto. So what are we doing here? Like there's full on ass pounding in The Last of Us 2. So
I didn't play that game, but I believe you.
Oh, buddy. Oh, there's ass pounding. There's a whole scene.
I can't wait for them to make the HBO.
It's like The Last Tango in Paris. Just full on, like flips them over and then.
So like,
oh man,
you know, like, so I can see a lot of the outrage, but just the fact that now did Atriac's wife? No, but did Atriac's wife? Do you think that she make him do this?
So here's the thing. I looked into this yesterday that he posted their wedding photos on Instagram 5 months ago. They just got married. So I think that is probably on the rocks. Like, right? That's got to be, hey, we just started this thing. What's going on? Like, you know what I mean?
I have no idea.
I think I wouldn't be, if that was me personally, if it's people that we didn't know, that might be a different story. That would maybe be like, okay, I may not be really happy that you're doing this, but if it's people that we didn't know, you know, I could understand her being upset, you know, having it people that they know, that he knows, that he works with.
Yeah, and everybody's different.
You know, colleagues.
Yeah.
I can see that being upset. I know I probably personally would be upset about that. But here's the thing. This is where I wouldn't personally make that issue public. And this is one thing that I don't like about modern streaming, and everything's online and everybody's online all the time.
Overshare.
It's oversharing. This is to a whole nother level. This is to a whole nother degree that I don't understand, that I don't vibe with. There's nothing personable. That is between you and your spouse, not between you and your spouse and his fucking stream. If he wants to, if he got caught with that and he wants to apologize to the streamers that he looked up and to Ludwig and everybody else, that's fine. Absolutely. And if he wants to do some kind of public thing, but the way that they did it, I hate it. I hated it. I hated all the crying. I hated her crying. It was awful. It felt awful. And there was a part of him that felt a little disingenuous.
Yeah.
Even though he was crying, there was a lot of I think the wife's was definitely she was deeply hurt by it, but like, why are we making matters worse this way? I feel like everything is so much worse when it was done like that.
It's so crazy that there's that video, there's the audio thing that just came out where people are making celebrities read like heinous things. Like there was one I saw,
that could be very upsetting.
There's one I saw of Hank from Breaking Bad reading the Quran. Like, it was just craziness.
Hell yeah!
Just anything you can think of. Now you can have Snoop Dogg, reading a Call of Duty lore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then Master Chief went in the hizzle for shizzle.
So you were kind of looking into so they had just gotten married 5 months ago.
Yeah, super recently. So I could definitely see I don't know, maybe like, obviously she's not cool with it. And it's Ludwig is his best friend. They're also, I found out, so Ludwig has this talent agency called Offbrand. It's like a pretty big creator agency in LA. And Atriarch's a co-founder. Like, if you go on their website, he is a co-founder, co-owner. So like, this isn't.
Could it have been from the top down? Could this apology have been, because you said he was caught, like there was like he was one frame live. Caught. Ooh, yeah. Could this have been
by one frame on his stream, because he did it on a streaming computer? He should have gone down this rabbit hole on his phone, and then we wouldn't be talking about this right
now. So
I'm
actually skeptical about the whole rabbit hole thing, because
I can't believe he paid for it.
That's just by his thing. I don't think it was a rabbit hole. Maybe it was, because there is a clip of him talking about how AI is the future and it's going to blow up in 2023. There is a chance that maybe he did kind of go down some AI rabbit hole, but paying for it, because he did pay for it. He paid for this deep fake porn of people that he knows, and one of them being his best friend's girlfriend.
That's the weird part, is that it was people that he knew.
When you grab your wallet, that's when really it crosses the territory for me. Like, when you get the credit
your card number and your 3 digits on the back.
That's not a rabbit hole.
At fake. That's that's a lot of commitment.
That's the whole rabbit zoo right there. That's not a rabbit hole.
And I will say, his viewers that took that one frame still second of what he had going on, I think that's weird too. It's obviously not as weird as what he did, but like, I think that's fucking weird that, you know, people go out of their way.
There's a lot of autism
make sure that they get that one.
You see just, you know, it's like, buddy, like, you know, it was one frame of a thing. Like, there's other YouTubers have been busted when they go to type something in and it'll come up with like crazy, like forced cream pie reactions.
Yeah.
You know, weird shit that they've typed into Google, and it's like, guys, what are you doing to somebody?
Yeah,
like, you're killing them over nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I had to turn, like, you know, Google's suggestive thing, like when you go to type something in the search bar and it starts, you know, puts whatever in there. I had to turn that off, because like sometimes I'll be doing stuff for work and it'll just have whole sentences in there that I've searched before. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to turn that off. Like,
all the crazy World War II stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understand.
Oh, jeez.
Don't want that on my screen.
Yeah. He has his work computer. That was his streaming computer. Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, that's even weirder. Why would he do it for his work computer?
I mean, I hate to say it. This is going to sound insensitive as fuck, but he was that horny. He was just that horny.
He just had to see it. See, that's another thing.
Then.
Who says this is what I have to see? You know, I can't.
Obviously, he did. And, you know, like I said, I don't.
And we've on this podcast before talked about how plain looking the gal that he was deep faking was. Like, that is not an attractive gal.
Who? Which one?
What's her face?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He's talking about Pokimane.
Pokimane.
Charles Kahn thinks Pokimane is the most unattractive girl.
I don't know why she's popular at all. Not attractive. Everything I've seen of her, she just seems mean.
I think she's attractive, but I also think she's mean, and like her, she just seems like a mean person.
Same. I think so too. I think so
at all.
Yeah, I can separate those two things.
I don't think she seems very nice.
Oh, so
and I don't want to sit there and
woman?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, I will say that. I don't think people are like, oh, she's a great businesswoman. I'll tell you what. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about
brother.
No. Let me tell you something, brother, about content creators who you think are great business people. Let me tell you, most of them actually aren't. They're just lucky. They just fall ass first into things. They have good management. It's not that they're good business people. It's that they've either surrounded themselves with good business people, or they're throwing every shit to the wall to see what sticks. Okay. Let me just preface this with that, because there is somebody that I've heard is supposed to be an excellent business person, and I have found out that it's the opposite. They're not. So, I mean, people that you think are going to be great, they're not.
Are you saying that Logan Paul is not the next Warren Buffett?
Oh my God. And you know what? He's not either. He's somebody that got lucky. He got so fucking lucky with all the, like, it was luck. I feel
like there's a great amount of work that them boys was doing. Like
There's
those guys push themselves
but there's a lot of
very
people
hard.
who work. There's a lot of people who have even better work ethic than they do. Okay. They just right place, right time. They hit it at the right spot.
To your point, I agree. I think like most content creators are spending $300 a day on Uber Eatsing fucking McDonald's and like just garbage food. Like if money management skills are not top of the list to be a content creator.
Not. People are
I don't think I've spent $300 in the last month.
But you just hit 50K Twitter followers, so you probably should start doing that.
No. Yeah. Save every penny. Don't spend anything. Not one dime. If I'm buying food, like if I'm buying pizza, I like Little Caesars, the cheapest pizza I can get. Living high on the hog.
Little Caesars is so hit and miss. Like their pan is really, really good. You're gonna get us copyrighted. The pan is great. The deep dish is great, but the regular is too hit and miss. Like they can make it too sloppy. But if you did have money, Charles, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What would you do? Would you help 1,000 blind people?
No.
See?
Fuck them.
You're not going to be Mr. Beast.
If I had Mr. Beast money and could film stuff that was interesting, I would film. I would help 1,000 blind people to see, but what they would see when they first open their eyes, oh buddy, it'd be like Cat's asshole, like right in their face. Like it'd have to be something really funny.
I agree.
It'd be like paying. I'd pay to help people smell for the first time, but then have like a bag just filled with dog shit and hand it to them. Here you go.
What's that smell like?
Oh, it's dog shit.
They start crying.
Yes.
Put it back. Put it back.
I'll tell you what.
Let people
Mr.
hear
Beast
for the first time, but
so,
it's just a compilation of Duke Nukem, ventrilo,
it's just
racial
white
slurs.
Noise.
Yeah.
It's white noise.
Yeah.
I'd be so fucked. So Mr. Beast is under a lot of fire. His latest video, which is over 50 million views the last time I checked.
I think it's over that now, honey. I think it's
probably
like 100.
well over that by now. I think like 50
it was like
million was like the
100
very
million. Like, and that's in like 2 days.
I think 50 million was like in the first like 10 hours or some shit. But 1,000 people that had the curable blindness, there's like probably like a 3-minute laser procedure where you can get that cured. So he did that for 1,000 people all over the world. And
it's like
Twitter,
a cataracts thing, right?
Yeah, Twitter is losing its absolute fucking shit talking about Mr. Beast bad, which I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, why is he bad? Because he's doing this. At this point, if Mr. Beast wanted to go super villain, I wouldn't blame him. Because look, he's done all of this shit and people are still criticizing. So if you wanted to just do like a 180 and say fuck you and just go evil, Mr. Beast,
that'd be fun.
Why would anybody blame him? Like he can't do anything right in the eyes of some people. So I mean, I do have a problem with that. I think people are just.
Let me read what one Twitter user, this guy mask_bastard, said about it.
Who?
Mask_bastard.
Sounds like a cool guy.
Remember where you were when Mr. Beast crossed this Rubicon and could never go back from this moment.
Yeah.
Now, what does that really mean? Let's really break that down and be
That's
serious
deep.
about one of Charles's tweets, which is the worst thing anybody could possibly do. I think that the crossing of the Rubicon is, like a watershed moment. It is a moment in time that we can't come back from. We've crossed the river Rubicon,
right.
And now things are never the same. Healing the blind, that's such a significant, like, I don't know if you call that a messiah complex or if he's trying to become like it's so much bigger than just we handed $10,000 to a bunch of bums. It's a very different thing. Very much
$10,000 multiple times in that video too.
He was giving out
like
money.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't watch.
They come out of the surgery.
There,
yeah, they come out of the
you
surgery.
Can see, look at all this fucking money we're throwing at you.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, it happened. One guy got it. One kid who wanted to drive, who had like bad vision his whole life. After the surgery, they of course gave him a Tesla. So.
We gave you a car. Yeah. Here you go, fucker.
We know you don't have a driver's license and you can't see. Good luck driving.
Yeah.
He actually did too bad though. Like I will say, like the kid driving around the parking lot, he didn't do that bad. So I mean, good on him.
I don't know. There's things about Mr. Beast that I love the ethic. I love how hard he goes. That's one thing that I love about that sumbitch is that he is just constantly on it.
Yeah.
So when you say crossing the Rubicon, Julius Caesar has crossed the river to attack Rome. What is the genie that Mr. Beast can't put back in the bottle now? Like what is that for you?
He's healed the friggin' blind, Jabroney. Can't you figure out what that means?
What's next? What are you saying?
Yes, it is a next level of whatever it is that he's doing. It is now.
Are you saying there's going to be Mr. Beast microchips in our hands soon?
I don't know. He might. If he can put his face into people and have people living with his words in their ears constantly. Like I have this dream of. Here's my dream, Jabroney. I've been thinking about this a lot.
I'm listening.
I want everybody to live in Charles World 24/7. I want to have wall-to-wall content of just Charles stuff where somebody has
wrestling and Ninja Turtles and Garfield.
Well, no. Think of it more like shows and things that Charles has done. Like there's enough Real Weird Sickos that if you wanted to sit there for a whole weekend and listen, just back to back.
This is episode 50 by the way.
What?
By the way, we're at episode 50.
50 episodes, 50,000 tweets,
go.
50,000 followers, 50 deep fakes.
Yeah.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
Shit. Let's go.
Give me 50, let me ask the chat GP. Give me 50 funny jokes for the 50th podcast. See if it'll come up with anything funny.
50 Mr. Beast jokes.
God. Yeah,
50 blind people.
I don't know where you go from here. Once you've healed the blind, that's next level stuff. Now you've got to start escalating in a way. Like I remember thinking that with the tree thing. I was like, ooh, he's escalating to something else here. This feels different.
20 million
just
trees,
like with the 4chan stuff, when they started escalating towards the Scientology stuff, it's like, this feels different. This feels like the Rubicon moment. This feels like we're going somewhere we weren't before. Now,
so do you think it's only down? Do you think it's only downhill from there? Do you think that he's peaked?
Oh, Jenna, this guy, even after he's dead, people will be making money off of Mr. Beast. Trust me.
Yeah.
This guy is going to keep working even after he's fucking dead. I would not be surprised if he has, I believe it was Mark Twain who had 100 years after he died, he had put stuff into his will that would be published only 100 years after he was dead. Mm-hmm. And then there's
Mr.
something
Beast
else that's only going to be published 100 years after that because he wants people to keep talking about him 100 years after that.
Yep.
It's
so
like
Mr. Beast
is like a whole manuscript, a whole other book or something.
Yeah, he went on a podcast and said that he does have videos that are like scheduled for like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30, 40, 50, 100. And he, like, if he's alive, he's just going to keep pushing them back. And then when he dies, they'll just slowly publish. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's 100% true.
Yeah. I think he's that kind of hustler.
I
would love to work with him. I'd love to talk to him. I've been trying to worm my way into that conversation.
Not having any interactions with the man at all, but only talking to a couple people who have had several say that he actually is incredibly down to earth, and from what they're gathering, very down to earth. And somebody told me that he said, if I just have like a place to sleep and my phone, I'm happy. I don't care about everything else. For me,
it's the incredible drive that he has that I like. That's why I want to team up with him. I love the idea of somebody that motivated and that driven, who's just constantly pushing harder and harder and harder and always asking themselves, well, how do we top this? How do we top this? How do we go bigger? How do we go crazier?
How does he top this? How does he top this? How does he top this?
Maybe he buys kids who are crippled. He gets them new legs. I don't know.
What do you think, Jabroney?
I know he's
goes to Africa and like a African village and feeds them or something.
What's the move?
I know he's talked about shooting a video in space before, so I know that Jeff Bezos is building that stupid
what if he builds a
space station hotel?
We built a whole commune for 1,000 people.
We built a commune on the moon. We got
guns and ammo and lots of chicks who are all married to me. Welcome to Waco, Texas.
If he does Squid Game on the moon.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick. And then they, if you lose, they just throw you off the planet. You just float into space.
He can actually do IRL Among Us.
See, that's what.
And if you're the imposter, just actually, like, literally, like, legit, like, toss them out.
Get ejected,
Jenna. That's how I want to die.
That would be amazing.
I want to die in outer space. I want to die like the alien in the Alien movie.
I want to die being sus in a Mr.
yes.
Beast video.
I want to be more sus than one of those characters in Among Us.
There's someone Among Us.
That's what. Like,
That's
I don't
what
understand how
I want to die.
I don't know. I don't understand how he composes himself, because I would not be able to contain like my evil side. I'd be like, yeah, we're gonna heal the blind, but we're gonna make the two blind kids fight, and the winner gets healed, and the other one doesn't. Like, I don't know how he contains himself.
People think about evil Mr. Beast. It'd be bum fights, right?
That'd be sick.
It'd turn into
you know
bum
what he
fights.
could do?
It's
I was thinking about this today.
the worst mean shit.
He could do bum fights, but like he has enough money that if he wanted to put like a laser and reflect it on the sun, like a la Mr. Burns on The Simpsons, but like a laser though, and like take away everybody's sight.
Now you're talking. This is some Charles stuff here.
He could do something like that. Like evil
Squad
Mr.
goals.
Beast could do something like that because he has the money where he could do that. He could put it in or something just absolutely batshit crazy like that. Like he could do that.
There's a guy in our circles who's an engineer guy I was talking to about, pranks and subterfuge and that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I would love to build some really crazy devices like that. Blot out the sun. Oh, that'd be good.
What's up, guys? It's me, Mr. Beast. We bought a nuclear bomb from North Korea. We're gonna blow up the sun. Actually does it.
That would be dope as fuck.
Yeah, that's deep core drills. We're going to the center of the earth and gonna
Mr.
blow it up.
Beast wanted to go and buy North Korea, motherfucker probably could.
That's what
Not
I think.
even
Yeah,
gonna
like,
lie, he probably could do it.
Why not take over small countries?
He probably could do something.
I'd love to see it.
That'd be interesting. What if Mr. Beast starts diplomatic relations? Because he put up a poll saying, "How would you feel if I ran for president?"
He got more yes votes.
Like,
than,
you're not old enough. I think he could do it.
He got more yes votes than the current president.
What if it was The Rock with Mr. Beast for president? I don't think anybody could beat that ticket, right?
Hell no.
No career politician could ever do that.
He could literally campaign like nobody else, like we've never seen. We would see a campaign out of that man like we've never seen out of anybody before. And that's what it is. All it takes is a great campaign to win an election.
A machine. That's what I love, is that he has, because it's not just YouTube. It is, a dozen YouTube channels or more, and they're in different languages, and the insanity of that. It's not just enough that we've done all this and we've gone so big. It's that we've expanded out to do so much more, and we're playing the game at such a high level. That's what I love. I love seeing people playing the game at a high level, and I don't know if anybody's playing the game anywhere near what Mr. Beast is playing it at.
Nobody's ever done it like him.
The only way I could see him falling off is if he like oversaturation,
Racist
right? Like if
tweets.
you're that too. Well, that's already happened, but if you
Oh really? I gotta find those tweets.
Yeah. So I looked into it a while back, and there's a bunch of stuff, but
Had a lot of thoughts about, like, was it like a thing where he said mongrels and didn't realize, like, oh, I love you mongrels, and then somebody was like, actually, pal, mongrels is a slur, because it is a slur. Mongrels is a slur, and you can't say it anymore. It is.
What? Who is mongrels disparaging? That's a word for a dog, right? Yeah, but who's that offensive to?
Mongrels was. I think it might have been Mongolians.
What? No, that's just goofy.
I'm gonna look it up. Let me go to the racist database.
While you're looking it up, I think
I just sent Turkey Tom a text. Let's see what he says.
Oh hell no, for sure. He probably made it up.
Well, you know what?
Mongrel is also a racial slur applied to people who are considered to be or who identify as mixed race. There you go.
Oh.
Boom shakalaka.
Okay. I could see that. I could see that.
I remember telling a friend of mine, he tweeted out, can you stop using racial slurs, you mongrels? And he was like, for lack of a better word, like woke or lefty, like, I don't know what you want to call that. And I sent him the direct message like, hey, buddy, mongrels is considered a racial slur, right? And he's like, you're fucking kidding me.
The same thing happened some months back. It happened to Oompaville, where there was just like his thumbnail was a baby. It was a thumbnail of a baby covered in tar.
Oh no!
And he
tar baby. Oh no, he didn't know.
And he put Tar Baby in the title, and he had no idea because he had never heard that slur before in his life. So he was getting shit on, and of course he changed it, and he goes, "Guys, I didn't know. I didn't mean it like that."
I'm covering my hand on my whole face like Captain
That
Picard.
happened to poor Caleb. So things like that do happen. That happened probably like around, I don't know, like 6-ish months ago. That happened to him.
The Tar Baby incident.
Yeah,
Oh,
the thumbnail and everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like it's impossible to know all this stuff.
If you don't know, you don't know.
He didn't know. He literally did not know. He was like, I did not know that was a thing.
You would need like a full-time employee just to fucking look that stuff up.
Well, people could just ask me, "Hey, Charles, is this racist?" I could tell you. I know all the
You should
racial
always
slurs.
just have an accountability buddy. That's why you always need like a couple of other YouTubers around to like ask, "Is this racist?" Or is this going to offend somebody?
Even then, they're so insulated. Like, once you hit a certain tier of YouTuber, you're working on your YouTube stuff all the time. You're not really doing a whole lot else. This was something some friends of mine who write on TV shows said is a lot of the writers sitting around like season 4 or 5 of a show going, well, what do regular people do? What are they doing? Because they don't know, because they're working on shows all the time. They got shit going on.
Yeah, there is a level of
like figure out what humanity is.
Yeah, there's a level of
humans do.
Like content brain, and like especially kind of what we were talking about with streamers,
content
like
brain. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, your brain just turns into content brain, and you forget how you even lived before. Like especially with YouTubers and streamers, like I think streamers have it the worst because they're just always on, and everything becomes like a parasocial. Like I think they forget how to live like a normal human being. Like it honestly seems terrible. I couldn't do it.
I think some people, but I also think there's also the people that have been like doing YouTube for so long, they learn to kind of detach from that. Like they know how to end when they're working on content, and they know when to begin living their life.
Yes.
But some people never master that.
You have to have a separation.
And some people
really
never fall into it in the first place. So it's really interesting, but you're right. I think with streamers, because they sit in front of a camera with a chat hours a day.
Yeah.
Every day.
10, 12 hours a day. That's crazy. You can't be a character for 12 hours a day. Like that's you.
That's exhausting. And
so
people
say
like,
that,
I
but our
get
friend
it.
Dick was on the Dr. Phil show, as you'll remember. That was what, like 5-6 days?
And nobody fucking like, and he kept his composure so well.
And with his head shaved and those big glasses, that fucking mustache. Oh,
and he had to sit there and just like think, because people are asking him questions on the spot. So
and he's just
had
going
to,
off like all women are whores.
he maintained so well, and people that like literally still even buy his, Dick Masterson hates women. He doesn't. He's actually super nice.
Oh, Jenna, you're blowing up his whole thing. Don't.
He's a softie. Stop.
That's like if people find out that I'm not a mean bastard. If people find out that I'm not a bastard, that I'm not debased, not Charles, in my original form.
If they find out that you are not a bastard, somebody's gonna make a well-researched rise and fall video on you.
Do you think bastard will ever be a slur?
I'm terrified that Turkey Tom or one of these dudes is gonna be like, so let me tell you all about Charles Kahn. Charles Kahn used to be this guy and would do all sorts of cringe. Just go through the whole thing, and it's like, oh god, really?
You just had. Also, what is the name of your new podcast that you just started?
Oh, we're calling it Clipped. Like
Clipped.
Yeah.
And you just had somebody recently on Clipped on the subject of rise and fall. Like the rise and fall community is up in arms right now. Can you tell us why?
Are they rising or falling?
It's a little bit of both. It's a lot of
hardly working and working hard.
Yeah. Yes, both. Yeah. So we had Internet Anarchist on, and he makes like kind of the rise and fall type of videos. He calls them documentaries. It's like a well-researched, like a well-edited kind of video about, just different topics. Like, is this person faking views? Is this person faking videos?
My views are all imaginary.
The 50,000 Twitter followers, are those all real? Are they Russian bots?
It turns out it's just me with 50,000 other accounts.
I mean, I think that's cool as long as you log into them and like your own posts.
That's right. Like, retweet, share.
I think Elon would be okay with that because it looks like engagement.
I'm actually Elon Musk this whole time. I'm actually plowing Amber Heard right now while we're recording this.
Shit, I'd believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he made a video. So Internet Anarchist made a video called "Is Sonny V2 faking videos?" And as soon as I saw that thumbnail, I like screenshotted it and I messaged. Videos. Yeah, faking videos. That's like a huge claim.
So that's. I want to fake videos. I want to pretend to be a YouTuber. That's going to be my new gimmick. I love that concept, faking a video.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things we asked. We're like, what do you mean faking videos? And so it was a very interesting conversation. And I was kind of intimidated because I've never really like interviewed anybody. I actually like watched a ton of his videos. I wrote down questions and I was like,
oh, you were prepared.
I went all in because I was like, I didn't want it to get
like Howard Stern. So tell me, what kind of penis you got down there, Internet Archives?
Exactly. How big is that thing that you think you can challenge?
What kind of chicks are you into? You heard about these deep fakes? Robin, look at these deep fakes. They got Robin. Look at her pendulous breasts.
You think these videos are fake? Is Sonny V2 faking videos?
That's a good impression. Jesus Christ.
It's terrible. I'm sorry.
That was actually pretty good. So anyway, go on.
So he was super nervous, but he was great. He's like, I've never done a podcast, and he was like nervous about me and Cheeto. And I was like, dude, I promise it's gonna be okay. Like, we're not gonna, this isn't like a gotcha.
I don't know where that comes from with people. Why everybody's afraid of a podcast? It's literally just have a conversation.
If it's their very first one, I can understand the nervousness.
Well, there's the thing about like those panel shows. Like once you do like 3-4 of them, like you kind of get the rhythm of it. You start to build the rep for it. You start to get the rhythm. It's just like anything else. Like,
but I can get being nervous. Like you weren't nervous the first time somebody asked you to come to guest on something, Charles.
Oh, Jenna, I don't know what nervousness is. I am the bastard made of steel. You think I feel anxiety and human emotions? No, I am not human. I don't require sleep. I don't eat.
So he was nervous.
I don't even fake my YouTube videos.
And the poor guy was in the middle of moving too. So he's like moving from one country to another. Like, this is a big move. He's like,
oh, wow.
He's like, I'm moving countries tomorrow, but I can make time. And I was like, oh my God, like, don't feel obligated. He's like, no, I need to talk about this. I'm like, all right, cool. And he was like, can we talk about what we're going to talk about? And I was like, well, we're going to ask you some like hard questions, but it's not going to be like, we're not going to press you. If you don't want to answer, just say, I don't want to talk about it, and we'll move on. He was like, okay. And it was really great. It was like a really good conversation. But yeah, I get it. I get being nervous because, as you both know, there's some weird people on the internet. Like, you never know. Yes. You go on somebody's show, like, you don't know what they're going to ask you, or like if it gets weird, or I don't know. I get it.
Tell us, Jabroney, what was it like when you killed your wife?
I was really just worried about getting away with it, right? Because the FBI is really good at tracking footprints, so I had to make sure I threw those shoes away. But once I did that,
after you got out of jail, though,
tweeted OJ.
Like things are going a lot better for you now. Like you've committed yourself to Jesus and the Quran at the same time.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did the Andrew Tate thing where I like
you drank a bottle of water.
Yeah, a bottle of water. And
Jenna, I got a bottle of water.
You're so good at that, though.
I was driving in my Bugatti and had a bottle of water all the way up my arse.
Who do you guys think is tweeting from his account, right? Because he's supposed to be in jail, but he's tweeting like every 5 minutes.
I'd say he's got a team of people. I don't know what to make of that guy. There's a lot going on with old Tater.
Tater Tot.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there.
Anyway, I think it's funny.
Tell us about.
We keep derailing, and I'm like dying to hear it.
Yeah. All right. So he's moving countries, and he makes the time.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
To internet anarchist. He's moving countries, making the time to talk to you.
Yeah, so I wrote up all these questions, and I'm like, all right, we're going to try and stay on track. And like, I want it to be organic too. So we kind of just let the conversation flow, but then I would pull it back to whatever my next question was. And it went really well. And I was like, hey, so you called out this like massive YouTuber and said like, is he faking videos? Like, what's up with that? Like, are you accusing him of that? Or like, what about him do you think is fake? And he kind of laid out, he's like, I really was just laying out criticisms from other people and like kind of reiterating what they said and not. He's like, I have a ton of respect for Sonny, and I'm not saying that he's faking stuff, but there are a couple times where he's gotten some stuff like, not wrong, but maybe like emphasized things that weren't super solid. And there was some like legitimate, but then we also took questions from like viewers, and there were some like super hard questions, and I asked them a couple of them.
Stiff ones.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
so what was the hardest one?
I think the hardest one was like, okay, one guy asks, so your title is Sunny V2 faking videos, but nowhere in the video do you say that he's actually doing that. Like, is that clickbait? And he had a really good answer. He's like, well, if you actually watch to the end, the last part of the video is where Sunny V2 basically made a whole video saying that EDP was in prison, and the only evidence was some literally random dude on like Instagram saying, yeah, I know EDP and he's in jail. And like, that was the evidence. So
same guy has an uncle who works for Nintendo, Jenna.
Exactly.
Of course.
But yeah, and I mean, it wasn't like this huge condemnation of Sunny V2's entire channel. It was just like, hey, this guy has a reputation for being correct.
Burned at the stake.
Yeah, it wasn't as, and I get it.
For his execution, we're going to build a guillotine in our backyard just to chop his head off.
Yeah, and I told him the same thing. I was like, I clickbait every video I do. I'm like, this is the biggest, craziest thing in the world.
Everybody does.
That's what, here's the secret to being a personality.
Otherwise, that's why it's clickbait, because unless it's outrageous, who wants to watch the same one?
If you made a video that said this is the 5th most interesting that happened this week, how many people do you think would click on that?
I can't just say that I enjoy RoboCop.
Sunny V2, or you just have a title that says Sunny V2 might have gotten things maybe half wrong.
Yeah.
Who the fuck wants to click on that?
Nobody's going to watch that.
It has to be this guy's full of shit with an arrow pointing to his face.
Exactly, with the red arrow and everything.
Yeah.
But like,
you got to have that red arrow and the text in red.
Sunny
this guy full of shit.
Sunny just catapulted like over the last probably like year and a half.
Now.
Like I remember when he had maybe like 300K subs. What is he up to now?
Insane. And look at the views per video.
He's over like 1 million. Like his views are just
look at the
it.
views though.
And like I think the Rise and Fall community, they always have like there's always like these little controversies. So recently there was another Rise and Fall YouTuber that was directly ripping thumbnails off of Sunny V2.
You can't do that. You can't just take somebody else's thumbnail.
Directly just ripping on him because his views have tanked a little bit over the last year. And this person happens to be more sus than a character from Among Us. And what ended up happening was it took a Tom Dark video by our friend Turkey Tom to call this out and say, what's up with these thumbnails? Like, what's going on? But he did actually correct it. And now he's back to his original, like, Staffo thumbnails. Like, shout out Staffo. We love Staffo. He created a whole genre back in 2020 with the thumbnails.
Whole genre.
He really did though.
Like, that's actually true.
He did. I've used Staffo many times. Like, some of my best thumbnails are Staffos, So it's like, he did create that genre. So he did go back to the Staffo thumbnails because he did kind of just take Sunny V2 style and rip it because he's killing it, and I kind of don't, in a way you can kind of do kind of what somebody else is doing without directly ripping them. You know what I mean?
Totally.
What's the line between homage, ripoff, parody, satire, completely just, clowning somebody's whole thing, like just one-to-one, the clone. Like there's 1,000 guys who want to be Mr. Beast who are like Jabroney Mr. Beast. You know what I mean? Like the imitation, like the RC Cola of Mr. Beast. And some of them are doing a little better than others. And some of them are like not even the Yoo-hoo of Mr. Beast. Like
I think just like with Rise and Falls, like everybody has like their own kind of lane in the way they do it. Like June the King does kind of like the same things. I wouldn't call it really Rise and Fall. I would say his are very, very direct on like a complete like history of somebody.
Yeah, his videos are so
happened.
Thorough. It's like
They are. Like, there's nothing that you question. He will go through it all. Like,
dude, that guy's like a librarian.
Great.
He's
great.
He's like, here's my sources. Here's my works cited page. I'm like, God damn, dude.
And
how did you do this?
And if he does get something that he needs to correct, he corrects it, and he will make an edit note right away. Like he does not pussyfoot around. Like mad respect to June the King with that.
But yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I do think there's like a very blurry line between like ripping somebody off and just being inspired by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's
and it's like, yeah. Oh, no,
like some guys crawl so other guys can run.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they're crawling and then you're crawling slower.
I have friends who do meme stuff who are very good at it, and they've given me tips, and I've absolutely ran with stuff. And I feel bad because like, man, like you could do this and that and do so much better with what you're doing, and it's like they just don't want to put in the work, and it's like, oh man, come on, just put in the work, come on, just do it.
For me personally, I wouldn't feel offended unless if somebody like downloaded one of my thumbnails and just like slightly edited it, I'd be like, yeah, I call bullshit. But if somebody started copying my style,
filter.
Put it through some kind of weird like cartoon filter and just re-upload it, then I'd be kind of like, yeah, fuck that person. But if they're just like looking at my stuff and like trying to make theirs look like mine, honestly, I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. Like, because if somebody
my fake video, I just want to take one of Jabroney's videos and then just read over it.
I mean,
that's been done.
It can be. Some people can take it as the sincerest form of flattery.
Ooh, I know what I want to do. I know what my fake. I want to be a fake streamer.
But the thing about it is, when you've had a very distinct style for a long time, and your views kind of start to tank off a little bit, and then you rip it from somebody else that's killing it, and it makes it kind of confusing. But at least this person that did this after they got called out, they corrected the situation. I will say at least he did that. But at the end of the day, I can kind of understand it. Like, I mean, if you kind of put yourself in that situation, I don't think there's an excuse for directly ripping, but I kind of can. I can kind of put myself in the in the seat of, you know, your channel used to do a lot better, and the person who's making, you know, let's just say it, a better version of your content is killing it. Like, I can see how they're like, maybe if I do it just like then, maybe it'll help me a little bit.
It kind of goes back to the Mr. Beast thing. Like, somebody asked him recently, like, who's going to overtake you? Who's going to be the next Mr. Beast? And he's like, nobody's going to be the next Mr. Beast. Like, nobody's going to beat Mr. Beast at his own game. You have to.
I don't want to be Mr. Beast. I want to be Masked Bastard. I don't
exactly.
Why ever be?
Yeah.
I remember telling a friend of ours who was doing YouTube stuff, was like, don't try to be Mr. Beast. Be the first you, and be the best you that you can be.
Yep, 100%. Like, try to
nobody
put your own
else
spin
can
on
be
it.
you, but you. Like, who gives a shit? Like, you could take advice from Mr. Beast and kind of understand how the algorithm and stuff works from Mr. Beast, but you can't be Mr. Beast. Like, you could be like the RC Cola version, and people will like that. Like, you can get a following being the RC Cola Mr. Beast, but you're not going to be Mr. Beast.
There's one really funny RC Cola Mr. Beast that went to like the poorest country in Africa. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you see that thumbnail a while back? It was so funny. That. He's like, we went to the poorest country in the world.
Why would they say it like that? Oh, God. Why would they do that?
And the thumbnail, he ended up, after he got under fire for that, I think within like a couple of hours, like when Twitter got a hold of that and just railed him, and he was just getting shit like in the comment section, he changed it, but it wasn't even all that better. It was almost like an Alex Jones. It was almost like an Alex Jones, like before and 90 Days Later meme. Like, it really wasn't that much better.
Yeah. There was a bit in a Nostalgia Chick video, Lindsay Ellis. She had a bit in the video where it was comparing, there was a gal who was doing like a YouTube videos about making cakes, and she would kind of talk to somebody off camera, and it would be kind of like flirty and silly, and she would be like this affable personality, and then she showed this dude who was completely cloning her style, right down to like the talking to the guy off camera, the way she was doing stuff. But the guy clearly had a bit of a budget and production behind it. So it was very like, ooh, what is this? Like, you can't do that to somebody. That's real shitty. That's like the comic books used to do this all the time, Jenna. There was, so there's Mr. Fantastic, who has the stretchy powers in Marvel Comics. In DC Comics, there's the Elongated Man and Plastic Man. There's, so like the DC Comics has the Doom Patrol, who are a group of mutants who have a leader who's a guy in a wheelchair who's bald-headed. X-Men over in Marvel Comics. There's, Captain Marvel and Superman are eerily similar. There's just tons of examples like that of, Man-Thing and Swamp-Thing are a little too, like, really have two plant guys who live in the swamp who have, like, monster powers. You really gonna do that, fellas?
Yeah.
It's like it's a little sus. And it's clear that everybody likes Swamp Thing more than Man Thing, but,
Yeah, it's like the great value version.
Is what it is. Yeah, forget RC Cola, the great value. That's what everybody is. Everybody's the store brand, like great value Mr. Beast. If they work real hard and you're really successful, you could be an RC Cola Mr. Beast. I'd so much rather be the absolute best masked bastard that I can be, because nobody is as much of a son of a bitch and crazy as I am. That's that. And then and nobody out there listening, like if you want to do a YouTube channel, pick up your phone, get in front of a camera and start cutting promos like a wrestler. Just start talking about anything that comes to your mind. If you want to be,
I don't know
if
if
you want to
anybody
think
saw
it,
this.
do it.
I don't know if anybody saw this yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Somebody made a tweet about, even if you're just starting out, please make sure you get this kind of mic and you do this. And it was literally the worst take I've ever seen.
It was bad.
It was
They're like,
the
they
worst
said
shit I've ever. Let me pull it up. I can pull up.
Yeah, go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it.
My whole thought is
I want to pull it up and
just
read
do
it.
a version of it with whatever gear you have.
Absolutely got fucking killed in the read. And
you got to get the reps in. You want to get the experience in, because the only way you get better is by doing. Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
This is what the tweet said. If you are buying a microphone and you are starting out with making content, please stop buying USB microphones, period, especially Yetis. I am begging you. There's a whole thread. There's a solid chance that most of you want to turn this into a career. So you're going to want to make this investment in the most important aspect of your career and business, audio. Okay, you know what? And then it's just kind of like this person that I've never even heard of them. I've never even heard of them. I'm sorry, but I've never heard of you before in my life. So what in the fuck are you on about? There's plenty of great content creators that I know. They're great content creators and they use fucking potato equipment. Okay.
Shoe on Head for years was using that webcam camera.
She still is using a shitty cam. And you know how many people that I know use shitty microphones? But they're decent. Like, nobody gives a shit. If you're good, people will come. If you're good and consistent, they'll come.
Going from the dumpy microphone to the better microphone, I feel like was a huge bump up for me. Like, that really opened up. It's like, oh, now I don't sound like I'm, all the way in my nose now. Like, I could hear that back or listen to that old audio going, ooh, I don't ever want anybody to hear this. Ooh, it's so bad. It's like humming and like bad. Ugh.
Yeah, I think
I feel like I'm all the way up here. Hi, Jabroney. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, just doing a podcast. Hi, Jenna. Are you there? Are you high up your nose too?
What were you gonna say, Jabroney?
I was gonna say, I think it contributes to people get this gear fear. Like, it's kind of like a term from Tarkov.
I like that, gear fear. That's good. I'm writing that down.
They get gear fear. They're like, oh, well, I can't start my YouTube channel until I have the right mic, and I can't start until I have the right camera. And it's like, dude,
use your phone. Just
I
use
agree
your
with
phone, record a 2-minute video, move on.
I love what you said about reps. That's literally what it is. Like, you have to keep getting reps. You're not going to have perfect form until you start doing reps.
Put in the hours. Take what's ours.
Yes.
You think a meme bastard is born overnight?
Oh
no.
God, no.
You can watch a million videos about how to do your mic and how to be a YouTuber, but until you start posting videos, you have no idea what you're doing. So just do it. An XLR mic is so. I don't know if a lot of people even know what that even means. That's the microphone with the big fat cable, not the little USB cable.
Yeah, they have that breakout box.
You have to have a box. You have to have a power source. You have to have an XLR cable. You have to have a big condenser mic. Like, that's
I said
you don't need that. Yeah, no.
You don't. You
do not need that.
The microphone that I'm using now is Audio-Technica 2020. There were 2 versions. You could get the USB version or the one with the breakout box. I got the USB version because it's portable and I can move it around, and it's a whole lot easier for me in the craziness that is my life. A friend of ours got the XLR version and had to go through 3 different boxes to get the right box, and it still was like a pain in the ass because it had to be plugged in, had to have its own power.
Yep.
And it was just a nightmare for him. I think he has since invested in the USB version because it's so much easier to fool with.
Yeah, I'm lucky because when I started YouTube, I happened to have XLR mics just lying around because I used to do music, and I just already had them. But yeah, if I didn't already have those, I'd just be running a USB mic. It's almost indistinguishable. Like, it's almost as good. Yeah. I bet Drake gets 1 billion streams on a song he recorded on an iPhone. Like, come on.
Have you ever heard the song Genie in a Bottle?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Christina Aguilera's Genie in a Bottle has the absolute worst production I think I've ever heard on a song. It sounds like it was recorded on the cheapest keyboard with like the worst loop, and it's I just laugh every time I hear it.
Damn, I just
and I hear it
how
pretty often.
much people loved it. I loved it. I mean, I was a kid.
Gotta
but
rub me
I
the right way. Oh
I
god, it's such
loved
an
it.
awful, silly
It
song.
is, but like I loved
the
it. It was a
production, the
bop.
sound of that song is so dumpy. Oh god, I love it. I just want that hooked in my veins. It's so dumpy, the production on that.
I like it too. Like, I just looked it up.
God.
Guess how many, off the top of your head, without looking it up, how many views do you think that video has on YouTube for that song?
Oh,
Millions upon millions.
Just throw a guess out.
30 million plus.
All right, Jenna?
Oh, we'll go. I will say 80 million.
You're close. 212 million views
Jesus Christ.
on a
So what you're
13-year-old
saying
video.
is we need to stop thinking about content in terms of, I'm going to make a video that's going to be this whole big breakdown of my little documentary and everybody's going to watch it. We need to be making songs on Casio keyboards with the worst production ever about, you gotta rub me the right way.
Filmed on
I'm
a fucking
genie in a
Motorola
bottle,
phone.
baby.
Oh my
Ow, ow,
God.
It's a catchy song.
It is. It's a good song. I liked it. I loved it. I loved it back in the day. Like,
then,
come on.
now, forever, Jenna. I heard that song the other day and I just started laughing
That's
hysterically.
that's the official song of our. That's the unofficial song of our podcast.
That's got to be
Yeah,
your.
the
Have you
official
guys?
song of our podcast
Christina
is the
Aguilera.
thong song. I was thinking about the thong song again, Jenna. There's a because you mentioned like, oh, that's when I sang the just the 2 seconds of
Oh my God.
that Mia Khalifa song. I watched a little documentary on YouTube about the thong song. Did you know that when he says "Livin' La Vida Loca," that cost them a ton of money?
Oh, because of the fucking
Because
like,
of the Ricky Martin
the
song.
Ricky
Like they
Martin
they didn't
song.
clear it with Ricky Martin's people that they thought that they had.
Wait, they had the copyright on that shit or what?
So because he does the melody, "Livin' La Vida Loca," he does it more than once in the song. She had dumps like a truck. Guys like what?
Guys like
what?
What?
Yeah,
What? We're gonna
such
get
a
fucking
great,
copyright.
catchy little song, and it literally came from his buddy coming into the recording studio when he was getting ready to make the new album. Like he was recording other songs and doing different stuff, and a guy just walks in and goes, "Listen, man, you ain't gonna believe what this girl I got her at the club. She come home and you know what she had on? That thong,
Oh,
and just
Jesus
grinning
Christ.
from ear to ear, singing that to him."
Dick.
And says that he just like snaps his fingers like, oh my God, we got to write that down right now. That thong. That's a hot song. We got to write that. And it was this collaborative, goofy thing of all these guys sitting around cutting up about thongs.
But that
I
was
love the creative process of that. I also watched one about the Baja Men and the recording of Who Let the Dogs Out, which was also hilarious.
Dude, those guys are so funny. I don't think there'll ever be like musical groups like the late 2010s.
Well,
People
the
were
Baja
weird
Men
back
wasn't
then.
even really a group. They were auditioned.
Oh,
Like,
really?
The,
They were like,
Baja Men that we know weren't the real Baja Men. The actual Baja Men had like quit the band the day before the recording of that song.
no
What?
way.
Yeah,
I didn't
it
know
was a
that.
crazy thing. Like they didn't want to do the song because it was another guy's song that had like a different kind of Caribbean feel and tempo. And this producer had heard it and said he wanted to do like a hot version of it that was like a stadium anthem. And as he's recording the song they do the auditions, get the 3 young dudes who are going to be the face of this thing. And the other Baja Men are like the recording, like the backing band, the real Baja Men. And he's in the studio with them trying to get them to do the bark. You remember the bark? The whoo, whoo,
Yeah.
whoo. You remember that song?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they couldn't get it right. All the singers, they just weren't hitting it right. And so the guy's like, all right, man, screw you. Why don't you go in there and do it? And he's like, all right, I will. The bark that's on the song, the hoo, 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 that's actually the guy going in, the producer, and making that noise into the microphone for that recording.
Wow. That's
It's a
cool.
crazy, crazy little documentary. I don't know. It was like auto-played on the TV's YouTube when I was at somewhere.
Hmm.
It was like these little documentaries about music.
Love it. I love those kind of stories.
Oh, man,
Sorry.
it's so wild. So wild. How much money do you think the Baja Men got to see off of that song? Because that just feels like there was a good 3-year period where we could not escape Who Let the Dogs Out as a culture. every little kids movie, every sports event, everything. I bet The Simpsons had the dogs out on it.
It makes me wonder though if they were like last minute, just random people. So is that what it was? They were just like extras or a casting call?
So those three guys were actually like they had auditions and they cast them.
Gotcha. I bet they got.
So
screwed
they needed
in the
guys
contract.
that could sing that looked good, and that's who the three faces of the Baja Men were.
I bet they were like, "Here, sign here. We're gonna give you like 1% of the gross." I don't know.
Oh, dude,
they probably got screwed.
I'm telling you right now, if I got 1% gross of the Who Let the Dogs Out money, the world would never see Charlie again. that would be an amount of money where I could live my dream, Jabroney. Oh, my
to heal
dream.
1,000 blind
my
people.
real dream. You know, if there's an amount of money you can pay me to fuck off. I got a cousin who lives out in the head of a holler who is the most
pause.
Rogue, like doesn't give a shit, lives his own lifestyle out there. It's just him and his dogs. Like there's something about that freedom that he has of being his own person. If I had, millions of dollars, I could live like that too.
What is a holler?
You don't know what a holler is?
Like yelling?
No, it's a holler. He lives at the head of a holler. It's like way up a long mountain path. Like the road ends. So it's like a dirt road that goes. And then you go all the way past that, a long way up a mountain. And then there's my cousin's trailer.
Like a long trail? I've literally never heard that.
Oh, man. I should get video of it sometime, like where he's staying. Like it's such a crazy place.
Is he off the grid? Does he have like solar and stuff like that?
He is off the grid. I don't think he has solar. I think he has, his own. I don't know how much TV and stuff he's even running electricity. I don't know exactly what his setup is out there.
So redneck nuclear plant. He has like uranium in a Coke can.
There was a time he had like a gas generator, but I don't know if he's doing that anymore.
That would be cool.
It's been a while since I've talked to him.
That would be cool. Just get some land in the middle of nowhere, build a house, grow some vegetables. Never go into the city again.
He does his own thing. Goes out and he loves going out in the mountains and he makes money digging yellow root and ginseng and that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's cool. So
you can go do that. If you dig that up, you can go. There's a couple of different things like that that you can dig that up and bag it up and take it and sell it.
The French have truffles for their fancy food, and we have ginseng for Monster Energy.
Yeah, there's gold in them there hills.
Monster Energy's got to get it from somewhere.
Yeah.
So did you guys see they're selling iDubbbz is selling tickets to Creator Clash now in April in Tampa? You guys see that? The big boxing.
I'm not going to that unless I'm boxing somebody. I will absolutely box iDubbbz in the ring live in front of everybody.
How much money would it take to get you in the ring with him?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
How little or how much?
You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. There's an amount of money that would get Charlie Kahn to step into the boxing ring. I would even go unmasked for the right amount of money.
Ooh, yeah. Face reveal.
But I want to wear the mask. I want to box somebody, and I'd have like old timey boxing gloves and a cape.
Hell yeah!
I mean, I would go big, and I would want to train. I'd want to be like Nathan Barnett and just go completely insane.
Absolutely,
and train my ass off.
Do you have a walkout song? What's your song for fighting iDubbbz?
Oh, it'd be I'm a genie in a bottle.
That's perfect.
You gotta rub me the right way.
I love that.
I'd come out. I'd have a guy come out dressed up like the Iron Sheik. You have the big Sultan hat on, those big ass genie boots. He'd come out and he'd set down this big bottle, and then he would rub on it, and then like smoke would come out the top, and then I'd come out.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, and I'd have one of those big Alibaba swords like some bitch in Indiana Jones when Indiana Jones shoots that guy.
Hell yeah.
I'd have this big crazy pro wrestler intro.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Who do you think would win?
That's what I want. And then after the match, after I beat him, I'd yell about Hassan Piker and what I'm going to do to him.
Ooh, Hassan Piker, I'm coming to kill ya. In the ring. No, in real life.
God, I can't believe that son of a bitch said that. I can't believe he yelled that in front of a crowded room full of people live on camera. That he was going to wear him like a coat. I'm going to skin him and wear him as a coat.
I'm coming to your house in Los Angeles.
I'm going to wear his dresses.
I don't know what they expected handing that guy a mic. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
That was actually a good.
What did you think he was going to do? What did you think Sam Hyde was going to do with a microphone? Like,
yeah.
the fuck on?
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen? Who would you fight? Who would you fight, Jen, at Creator Clash?
Would you fight the Critical Role girl, Jenna? She's fighting at the Creator Clash.
Is she?
Mercer's wife. She's fighting somebody.
I don't even know who's fighting. I don't even
what's
know
her face?
who's
Char. Oh man, I always have a hard time saying that name. Alana Pierce is the name.
Yeah, Alana
Charla
I did see that. Yeah.
I forget how you say that.
I honestly don't even know. I don't even know who I would fight, to be honest.
Nathan Barnett, Keith Apicary. He's fighting again. He's fighting somebody. I'm curious to see if he lights somebody up again. There's a great clip of Joe Rogan. He didn't know that that Nathan Barnett's character of being the dad was just a bit. That somebody had uploaded their boxing match, like father and son fighting. Like dad beats up his son.
Oh, it's
so
great.
Joe Rogan is reacting to it, talking about like, yeah, look at this clip. Like this father, could you do this to your son? He's beating up his son. Look what he's doing to him. And then you just hear Jamie on there like, yeah, that's not actually his son. You just hear Joe Rogan, oh, fuck me.
It's
I
bad.
guess I'm a fucking moron. I'm fucking dumb.
He let him go for like 3 minutes. He's like, you really failed as a father if you're in the ring beating your son like that. I'm like, dude, that's so good.
I hope Jamie did that on purpose too. That's perfect.
He just let him go. He goes and goes and goes. And then he put sad music to it and released it. That's the funniest clip.
Yeah,
I thought it was fake.
Barnett's a really nice guy. I met him on a retro gaming forum before. He might have been on Screw Attack doing stuff around that time. He had one of the most impressive collections of Neo Geo games I'd ever seen. Oh man, he had like inbox, like he might have had them all. Or damn close to it. Oh man, what a collection.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Cool. He was a cool dude. He's very friendly.
Well,
so, Jenna, what do you got going on?
Nothing. Happy 50th, Charles.
Happy 50th, Jenna. I can't believe we've done 50 of these. 50 years old. 50.
It doesn't feel like it.
We've done 50.
Yeah.
Jabroney, have you ever done anything 50 times in a row?
I failed probably like 50 math tests in a row in school.
Nice.
That's probably.
Well, you know what? 51, the 51st state. That's when things get right. That was my solution for Afghanistan. Make them the 51st state. There you go. Problem solved.
Yeah. Yeah, we could tax the opium and everything.
Exactly. The lithium. We're after the lithium. Hello, it's me, Jesse the Body Ventura. I'm now Jesse the Mind Ventura. Jabroney, let's tell the people at home what you got going on. Where can we find Jabroney?
Yeah, you can find me, just go on YouTube and search the word Jabroney. I spell it an off-brand way. I spell it Jabroney, which is not the holy spelling. It's not the canonical spelling, but it's the way I like to spell it.
It's not the Iron Sheik spelling.
Correct.
And in your new podcast, where can we find your new podcast?
Yeah, it's just called Clips. Yeah, you can look it up. It's a small little podcast I have with another similar YouTuber, Cheeto. And you can find that too.
Awesome. Yep. Well, thanks for coming today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
We had a lot to talk about.
Jabroney.
This was
Jabroney's so much fun to talk to. He's just a cool dude, very friendly.
This is the first and last time you'll hear Charles say that he loves Jabroney. That's his favorite word. In case you didn't
I don't
know,
love Jabronies. I love Jabroney.
Jabroney.
Oh, well, thanks.
Very different. Very different.
And this is definitely the first time we've ever recorded together, so I'm glad this went well.
We've never done this before,
flawless.
Ever. We never. This is the first time.
Never met y'all.
We're glad that you came.
Here's the best part, Jabroney. I don't remember if we did. I don't remember a thing we spoke about if we did talk before. I just remember it's like Homer Simpson after the dinner party. I remember being charming and the light of the party, putting a fly in a piece of ice in a glass and laughing about it.
Yes.
And everybody having fun. It was so much fun. And Jenna was there. And then I got peanuts at the bottom of the bowl.
Was it all just a dream?
It was all just a dream. It was all a drunken dream. Yeah. But happy 50th to everybody that stuck around since the beginning. Thanks a lot. Yes. And more to come.
I appreciate it. I love everybody loving the show. I love doing the show. It's a lot of fun. I love Jenna dearly. Jenna's a dear sweetheart, friend of a person. I don't think my life would be the same without Jenna.
Same. Oh my God, same.
There's
Charles.
Everybody who follows and likes us, all our weird stuff that we're up to. Like, we're only going to get weirder and only going to do more and bigger and crazier.
Hell yeah.
Sky's the limit, Jabroney. There's nothing.
Hell yeah.
Listen, you think Mr. Beast is going to outer space? I want to go to outer space. I'm going to go to outer space. I want to die in outer space. That's the goal.
Blinding 1,000 children in outer space. That's the next Mr. Beast episode.
We're blinding kids in outer space.
Look into the
That's
sun.
amazing.
Yeah, look into the sun, kids. It's a solar eclipse. All right, we're not going to get funnier than that. All right, I think we're done.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.